which is bound to be interesting. We do have a special guest with us today, Mr. Melvin Foster. And I have to give you a little insight on how this came about, because it was just going to be Sherilyn and myself doing this episode, and we were out at the Carib Vibes studio, so respect to Carib Vibes, hanging out for one of the guys' birthday. And Mr. Melvin Foster said, yeah man, no problem, I'm joining you ladies on the Caribbean Edge. So welcome. And thanks for joining us such a last minute.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
I'm very glad we came over to Caribbean last night, because I said to her, because she said, let's get someone else on the show. I'm like, let's get a male point of view. I mean, we're always here giving our female versions of everything that we believe in.
Yes.
But let's get a guy on there so he can tell us, give us it from his point of view.
Okay, so for those of you joining us for the first time, my name is Dawn Wilson, and Melvin is going to tell us a little bit about himself.
Okay, my name is Melvin Foster, and I am the owner of Cutting Images Salon and Spa. Also, a South Florida promoter. We have an event once a month, South Florida Ritual. Irish Saturday is coming up this Saturday at Crave Restaurant and Lounge.
Yeah.
So for the most part, I am a married man, so...
For the most part.
I like that, for the most part.
His wife was aware. She was with us last night chilling and is aware that her husband is on the show tonight. So yes, just in time for the weekend celebration.
Absolutely.
For Irish Saturday. So thank you for that event. It's really nice. And then?
My name is Sherilyn Marshall, and I refer to my husband as my main squeeze. So for the most part, I'm married as well.
So tonight's topic is, why am I still single? And obviously they've introduced themselves as married, and I'm the single one. Nonetheless, this is a question for our viewers as well. So please make comments, join us, share us, so that your friends can partake as well. We're going to start with reading some of the comments that were posted online, because one of the things we appreciate is when we put out, the topics, a lot of our viewers thankfully comment, so we can share those comments up front. One person, Pat, said, single with no wrinkles, bed a little cold, but an extra sheet fixes that. So she's obviously okay with the single life. And Barbara Nelson Bennett, who is now married to the love of her life, said, great topic. She used to hear that a lot when she was single, and she was single for a while. So thank you for that, Barbara. Definitely single people hear that. I think that's the number one question posed for singles. Miranda says, I don't know, why are you still married? Relationships that are toxic and the Caribbean edge is on fire. So I think she's saying when someone asks her, why are you still single? Her response is, why are you still married? Especially if you know that person's in a toxic situation or unhappy, or they're trying to pick up on you, then why are you picking up on me if you're single? If you're married.
If you're married.
Yeah.
Correct. Maybe you can elaborate on that, because a lot of married men tend to try to pick up on single women. Any insight from a man's perspective?
That's a
Right, she dove right in. Lord. She talk about putting you on the
that's
spot.
That's a setup.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it's a crazy situation. I'll say this one. Let's use men, because I'm going to talk from a man's standpoint.
Of course.
Why would I want to pick up a woman that is not my wife? Maybe I'm not happy in the relationship. Right? For me personally, if I'm not happy, I'm going to let you know I'm not happy. I'm going to tell you what it is I'm not happy about. Now, you have men who are cheaters. I mean, there's no two way around it. When you look at the ratio of men to women, it's impossible for some men not to cheat.
Because of the ratio.
Yeah, because I mean, unlike when, let's say 20 years ago, there was a lot of, marriages and stuff like that. Now, everybody's getting divorced. And so, men are getting hit on more than women are getting hit on. You might not want to believe that, but that's true.
I believe you.
Yeah.
The women of today are different caliber.
It's a different
caliber.
So therefore, you know, sometimes it's not really guy who really want to go out there, but because, I mean, hey, you know, women make it so much easier for us to cheat. And they say, okay, well, you know, why not do it?
I'm going to play devil's advocate with that one. So if an attractive woman wants to cheat with you and you know you're married, she's not married, right? So you have made a commitment to someone, regardless if she's throwing herself at you and she's sexy and hot and wild and tempting, you still have an obligation to your wife. So isn't it your choice to say
it's
no?
my choice.
Right.
It's my choice. But, you know, if I'm not happy in my relationship,
right,
then it makes it easier for me to do that.
Yes.
Which leads to why not leave that relationship?
Well, people are in a different relationship for different reasons.
Yep.
So, you know, who am I to tell the person, well, you need to stay or you need to go? I mean, I just don't have the time. I don't have the energy. Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's a lot of, you know, hiding your phone, you know, putting in different, I can't remember nothing these days. So I try not to tell a lie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's just me. So I try, you know, she called me. And then I try to not put myself in certain situations.
Yeah.
So there's certain, like, I don't do the really nightclubs. I mean, like I said, I'm a promoter, yes, so I have to go to a lot of different events.
Right.
But there are certain events that I'm just not going to go.
Right. Now, let me ask you this. Have you found that as you've gotten older as a man, your thought process on cheating has changed?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because actually, to be truthful, it's actually my first relationship that I've never cheated in.
Okay. Well, thanks for that. So she
wife
must be doing something really good then. All right, and you've also grown up, right? And it doesn't make sense when you love someone, you care about them, to hurt them, even though there's temptation out there, obviously.
Yeah, and then even with cheating, it's extra time that you need to find.
Yeah, and money. It's
expensive.
expensive.
Yeah, very.
Yeah,
because
those girls want everything from the sugar daddies.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So thanks for that question, Miranda, because it allowed us to get a man's perspective as well. And Alicia said, great topic, single lady. She's a single lady. We'll try to tune in. And she also gets the questions, why aren't you married yet? And what's wrong with you? As if there's something wrong with you because you're single. Right?
But there's some of them that actually there's
something wrong.
Something like that.
Of course. I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm so glad you brought that up because there are definitely people that there's something wrong with them.
But isn't something wrong with all of us?
Yes.
Yes, but
you said it. We all have issues.
Yes. Okay.
But it's to find someone that will compromise your issues accordingly.
Yeah.
Accordingly.
That will tolerate you or is accepting of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Donna said, I don't have time to babysit a grown man and I'm drama and problem free. So that's why she enjoys her single life. Any comments on that one?
What is
babysit?
What? Yeah. You know.
Well, we know women mature faster than men, and maybe the men that she's meeting don't live up to her expectations.
Yes, but sometimes you find women, and as a hairstylist, because prior to the hair industry, I was in the restaurant business, and my situation was a little bit different then. I got into the hair industry, and it totally changed my thinking, because I had clients who were sitting in my chair every day. I was doing upward to 20 clients a day.
Okay. Why were they chair every day?
They were in my
clients.
chair. Clients. My
clients.
No, there's different clients.
Different clients. Okay.
Sometimes up to 20 clients per day.
Right.
No, that's not easy.
Yeah.
No, that's 20 different personalities I have to deal with.
Hectic.
Then you have to deal with all the staff, right? And then there are women that will come in and they'll wear the shortest shorts and all that. And I'm like, I was sitting there and I'm like, oh boy, problem.
Temptation.
Yes, but I'm saying, okay, why is this woman single? And then you know, after talking, then you realize that they're in it for the money or they're in it for something.
Yeah.
Now, once that happens, then the guys that you're trying to attract, they're now looking at you as if, okay, what are you bringing to the table?
Right.
Okay.
What? So if you're not bringing something to the table, then why are you here? You're here to eat. So, I mean, if I'm the only person providing something to eat, then something's wrong with that. Then I have to look at the trade-off. Is that trade-off worth it? You know?
Okay.
Well said. Very well said. There are men/women, I would say mostly women, that are looking to take as opposed to give.
Right.
They are looking for what they can get as opposed to what they have to offer.
Yeah.
And I think in today's world, there's none of that. I think that there has to be a give and take. I think the women have to be able to give as much as they're willing to receive.
Absolutely.
I think so. I think so.
Interesting. Let's see. And then one person, Zyrun, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, but can't be bothered with teaching anyone else her culture.
Oh, culture
And
is
culture
huge.
is huge difference.
Culture,
as well.
culture is huge.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even people within your culture
It's
don't understand
difficult.
your
Yeah, that's
culture.
right.
Because, like, I'm a very active person, very social. And if I meet someone that is not social, that's a problem.
It's very
Right.
difficult.
Because they want your time.
Right.
So I always tell Sherilyn and Stu, her husband, that they have, like, the perfect world as far as the two of them like socializing, like people, like going out. And they don't just like it, they love it.
Right.
And so if you find someone
she
like
lucked
that,
out.
yeah,
Yeah, I lucked out, and
And
we
he
had this
lucked out.
conversation recently, and he lucked out.
Yeah.
We totally had this conversation just this past week.
yeah.
That both of us love to be out there socializing, having a good time, and it's good that we actually work in that whole arena, because for other couples that could be an issue.
It could be an
that
issue.
could be a
Yeah.
problem. Yeah.
And you know, the funny thing, like, it's just like Trish and I, you know, that's why some places I'm like, yeah, are you going? Yeah, I'm going. So we
Right.
go together.
Right.
So the stress of me being there, because even
Without
if
her-
like certain places here, I'll go, you know, dance with some older women,
Right.
and people get upset. People,
Right.
yeah, but where your wife at?
Right.
So I'm like, yo, I mean,
Hello,
it's not
yeah.
that serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, to your point, is that having that person that shares the same goals and
Likes
lifestyle and
and,
stuff like that
Yeah.
makes it a lot
Makes
easier.
a
It
huge
does.
difference.
That's a challenge for me as a single person. Is
Yeah.
not wanting to conform, because you do have to conform.
Yeah.
Yes.
To that
to a
person.
certain degree. To a
So,
certain
to
degree.
right. So if I meet someone that doesn't go out, that is absolutely a challenge as a single person. And they come with their own baggage as well, because they're coming from a marriage situation where the wife stayed at home.
Right.
I'm not a stay-at-home mom.
You know?
No.
Oh,
no.
wow.
I did great in balancing my kids, because my kids, this is a sports house, a healthy house, and we like are out all the time. That's who we are.
Right.
And it's great. There's no apology for it. It's our lifestyle. So if you can't fit into that, then it's a problem.
Right.
And then people pretend. It doesn't have to be my situation, your situation.
Right.
People pretend or say, yeah, I can deal with it. And the reality is you won't deal with it.
Absolutely.
You're looking for change.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I mean, if you know, and again, and trying to find that balance is so hard.
God is.
Yeah,
Because-
it is.
For
Hard
you,
is an
you're more into health and
understatement.
fitness and all
Yeah.
that. Trying to find a guy who is single and is into health and fitness
It's
is
a
hard.
challenge.
Then, you know, if you're short, then that's fine. But if you, I mean, how tall are you? What,
5'8".
5'8", yeah. I mean, but you're still tall. You're not the average height
She's
women.
tall.
So you don't want to, you know, you find a guy he's into health and fitness and he's 5'4". Then you're like, no, I can't do that one.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, like I said, I talk to my
Right.
clients and I say, okay, you know,
Yeah.
what are the guys 5? Because I have my clients, I mean, 90% are single. And they're like, Melvin, I need to find a nice guy. I said, well, come to my party. They say, oh boy, but I met the one last time, he's short. Okay, well, you're not going to find the total package in the same person. You know, then I have another friend of mine, I introduced him to this other lady. And she's like, but your belly big.
You know, you're right. You know, short, belly big. There's so many things we could find, right? so many faults we could find with the people that we run into. don't kill me right now. But yeah, right, you have to decide what you're willing to give up, what you're willing to give into.
Right.
You have to decide.
So maybe like Dawn, maybe I can hook Dawn up with the guy with the belly.
Right.
She can put him on a diet because I'm just saying. I'm just asking a simple question. I'm making a statement.
Because you're not going to change that person.
No, but the person's a nice person. He's a very social person. However, you can, say, hey, listen, let's go jogging.
Right.
Let's
well
go.
said. It's not a matter of changing that
Right.
person. It's that person wanting to better themselves for you, for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things, it's the way you put across that message that will make them want to become better for themselves and for you and for the relationship.
I am a firm believer that you have to take care of yourself first in order to set the tone and the standards for the people that you want in your life. Okay, so if I'm a miserable person, I'm going to attract miserable people.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm a fantastic, outgoing, beautiful young lady, hopefully that's healthy, that's what So if taking the example of the big belly man, I don't think that I will be changing him. He would have to want to change. And if that's a criteria for you, health and fitness, right? Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I won't date someone that's not as healthy, right? Right. Then you won't get beyond that visual of the big belly. Or if you do take a chance and go out and it gets to a point where you're about to get intimate, that belly is going to be a turn off. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and that's why I'm saying with so many women, a lot of women, they are single because of those reasons.
Right.
No, let's flip the script.
Right.
Let's say I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the, I spoke to Trisha about this last night. I said, what if I was working at McDonald's?
Right.
Oh no. Oh no.
Okay.
So there I'm financially challenged now, but I look good. Okay. Oh man, that's a nice looking guy, but he works at McDonald's.
Right.
You know, the biggie fry, you gonna biggie size it, or you want fries with that?
But
Are you
what
gonna
stage
date me?
is she at? If she's young and you're both in college and you're working at McDonald's, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But I don't.
But what if I just came to this country? I'm trying to find my way, and that's the first job. I didn't want to just stay home, so that's my first job.
That's the exception now. I don't know if many women, honestly, I
That
don't
is
know
the exception.
because
But you're right. What if she met you and she thought, wow, this is a really good guy. I like his energy. He's a good person, big-hearted. He has potential. He has ambition.
There you go.
Right, and he's working at McDonald's.
But if you
that is the exception.
But what
like
if? But you will never give him that. You wouldn't even have a conversation.
So we wouldn't even know if he
won't. Right.
Absolutely.
But there is not. You're not going to be on the same level of maturity at that point, because you are working hard for years. You're established. You have your own home. Everything. So not to say some women won't. But it's difficult for a woman that's established and going somewhere to pick up someone that lives at McDonald's.
But you know something, and I'll tell you this: you have a lot of women out there right now, and they're going to be upset with me. They are dating some of these guys for whatever the reason. The two reasons are different. I could be a pimp right now. I'm telling you right now. I could just. Quit where I'm at. I wouldn't have to pay any bills. I wouldn't have to buy any car. I wouldn't have to pay insurance.
Okay.
I just borrow the girlfriend car.
Oh yeah, a lot
what
of
do you
people
think about
do that. Oh, it wouldn't work for me, but I know people do it. But we're gonna read
I
some comments.
But I can be in the gym. I can be in the gym every day. The question
You can stay in the gym all you want. If you're not bringing a well-rounded person to the table, it is not going to work. I'm not going back to high school days. I am so sorry.
Yeah, but that's you.
Because it's not going to work. That's right. Right. So we're giving our opinions here. What is going to suit us?
So do you think this was going to work for like other people in our stage of our lives?
It does work. It works for some people.
Yeah.
It works for some people. Like I say, everybody,
Everybody's different. You're
yeah.
right.
Okay, so David Muir, thanks for chiming in, David. David said, oh no, too biased. Man can be very mature and work at McDonald's. Okay. True, David, but there's some other points to maturity as well, is where you are financially in life, where you are as far as, we're more mature mentally. I'm not the same person I was at 20, what I would have done at 20. I don't want somebody that's where I was 15, 20 years ago. It's not going to work out. I need someone that's going to uplift me, that's going to energize me, that's going to motivate me.
Right.
That's going to, we can be different, but if you're at McDonald's, you're not going to motivate me.
Right.
Unless you own McDonald's. That's a difference, right? Not that I'm a gold digger, I'm just saying. Okay, so let's get to some of what our audience is saying. Hopefully some of you guys are agreeing with me because that's the truth. Okay. Suppose he wants to own a franchise. That's what I said. Yes, David, unless he's doing something. Of course, there's nothing wrong with McDonald's.
I agree with you, David.
Okay.
It's potential.
So Rosie, thank you so much for tuning in. She says, my nephew and his wife came here and worked at home as a home health aide and Walmart. Within months, they bought a car, 2 years, a house, and she's now a physician assistant. So awesome.
Awesome.
Great job. And that, Rosie, they came together and worked together and became successful. Awesome example. Wow, we absolutely have a lot of comments on here. And I don't know.
Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for chiming in.
And I'm
Thank
trying
you
to see
so
all the
much.
comments and I can't, so I probably have to borrow a phone to see all of them.
I'm so glad you guys are here with us. So glad.
Thank you guys. So Joan, thanks for joining us. Mish says hello, ladies, and Mel.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
We have a couple people on the undercover room. Everyone's watching. Handel says very interesting. Jeannie, thanks for joining us. Trying to get to some of the comments.
Something that we may have to respond to.
Someone said, great question, Dawn. That was Ann Lee. Okay. And Dwayne Anderson said, some women don't want the commitment either. And I agree with that. And I don't know. I don't know if it's because I've been single for a long time. And we should probably define what single is, right? Which is referring to someone who is not involved in any type of serious romantic relationship, including long-time dating, engagement, and marriage. Because a lot of people think they're single and they're really not single. So that's another issue.
So let me ask you a question. What about a friend with benefits? Would that
friend with benefits? You're still single.
Yeah.
Correct. Depends. Well, you could be married. Are we talking about a married man?
No. I'm talking about a single man.
Friend with benefits.
Right, a single man.
Yeah, that works because you're both single.
But what I'm saying, would you constitute that as being single?
I would.
If he's not in a serious relationship.
Yeah, but
women.
A single is minus the commitment. Can we agree with that?
Yes.
Minus the commitment.
Right, because some women, I've had that happen to me before
Right.
where, we were talking and I say, hey, listen, nothing serious, we just want to go out, have a good time,
Friends with benefits, right.
Now, something happened. Okay, fine, you get a little something. So the next day they call you because they like it. They call you, you go back again. So typically with women, if you go there 3 times, now we're in a relationship.
Okay, well, let me explain that to you.
Okay.
I'm gonna explain that to you.
I need some explanation.
Friends with benefits, I don't think that works with a lot of women. Because once you decide to engage in sexual relations with us, it becomes emotional to a certain degree. I've never been able to do the friends with benefits thing.
Okay.
Because if I'm allowing you to touch certain parts of my body in that manner and please me in that manner, I feel like if I deserve a little bit more than just you coming here and doing all these things to me.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think a lot of women are like that.
Yeah.
I think a lot
I just wanted
of
to
women
know
are like,
because
no, you're right. Some women tend to claim, oh yes, we can be friends with benefits.
Right.
I can meet up with you, have sex with you, you please me, I please you, and we go our separate ways. I don't think it works for a lot of women, because if you and I are engaging in all of that sexual activity and I go out and I see you being too chummy with someone else, or you come and say to me something about you engaging in this with other women, I am gonna have an
The
issue.
jealousy kicks in.
I'm gonna have an
feelings
issue.
are there.
I'm gonna have an
Yeah.
issue. Because for me to allow you to engage in taking part of all of this with myself, my mind, my body,
Oh boy. Oh,
myself and my body, then you are special.
yes.
You are so freaking special.
Yeah.
So for me to have to try to kind of share you with someone else now is a whole.
But that doesn't mean there
ballgame.
aren't women out there that
That
are
do it.
willing
To
to
do
do
that.
that because they're getting the benefits.
Yes.
So they're not emotionally
Attached.
tied
Yeah.
to you for that.
Yeah.
So Rosie says everyone does need a lifetime partner, a support system, and vice versa. It's just to find the right connect. It's
I
like
agree.
a job. Also, self-control is vital. Considerations that could avoid chaos. Are we connecting emotionally, spiritually? Do we share the same foundation, family values, visions, goals, and the list goes on? Respect, humor, everything. So bringing up some great points there. How are we connecting with people that are either scarred from a previous relationship, bring their own baggage expectations, and being able to meet them? I think I was more successful at that when I was younger. Now, I think if I got married young and I built a life with someone, it would be easier. So we would either grow together or we would have been divorced by now, right? But to meet someone now, I find it so difficult, so challenging, because my expectations are so different now. I am this woman that I've created, along with God, of course, and my journey is different. Every day I grow, I'm smarter, I'm learning more. We're sharing more stories on the Caribbean Edge, so I'm learning from everyone else. And so the people I meet, meet someone at a party, unless you take the time outside that event to get to know them, it's difficult, and you may or may not share that. Another option that we have as single people is online dating. That's not something for me personally, but I know people that do it and are successful at finding people online.
I've just never been into online.
No, and I think for our generation, I don't think that would never really work. Even though some people have tried it and it did. I have a very good friend from high school. She met her husband. She's from Trinidad. She met her Jamaican husband online.
Wow.
They're happily married today. 10 years. 10 years of marriage.
And I know married men that go on
works.
these sites too.
Yeah.
So do I. I know married men that have gone on this site as well. But coming back to what you said, like you're set in your ways at this stage in your life, you've grown, you've learned, you've experienced so many other relationships. So now you're set in your ways. Do you think you are truly open to someone coming into your life?
I think I'm truly open to it because I genuinely love. I can fall passionately and deeply in love. I'm not one to cheat. I'm not one to be out there with other people. So if I did meet that one special person, I don't believe you complete me either. I complete myself. But if I find that one person that I can build a future with, that accepts me for what I am, because I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna exercise, I don't stop you from living your life, and we come back as one at the end of the day, and we're doing everything perfect. I will be in love with you for the rest of my life. Don't have to marry you. That's a whole nother ball game, but I can be with someone.
In a committed relationship.
In a committed relationship.
Yeah.
And if marriage happens, it happens.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know if I would want to get married.
Right.
So let's ask this question then. What about you, since you brought that up, what's the difference between a committed relationship and marriage?
Signing that paper.
So that's
I want to walk away. If things don't want to work, things don't want to work out, it's just way easier.
Correct.
And I think if I made that marriage commitment, I don't know, it's just something about that marriage. I know men are not willing to commit to marriage. I am one of them women. It's probably rare that I'm not chasing marriage. I want the person.
It is rare, but I was the same way. Growing up, I always said to my mother, "I'm not getting married. I'm gonna give you grandchildren, but I don't see myself ever getting married.
Yeah.
I don't. So it's rare. It's very rare because most women want to be married. They want
Right.
to wear that white dress, walk down. I've never done that. I still don't feel like I have to do that. We got married. We went to the courthouse and got married. And
This is Outer Road now.
Thank you, Stu, for sharing Sherilyn with us as she shares your life as well.
Yeah, because people say to me, people who truly know me know that I never wanted to get married. So when they found out that we got married, they were like, "Wow," you know. But I never really wanted to. I was afraid of failure. I've seen so many marriages fail. I saw it growing up. I was so afraid of it that I was like, I'm not going down that road.
And that was a question I had too that you just
Yeah.
touched on, is like, do we think our childhood has impacted us, our thoughts on marriage?
Yes.
Our thoughts on relationships, and it absolutely does for me. There's no
Absolutely.
denying it.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up with an abusive father, physically abusive father, verbally abusive as well. And I grew up in a household where he beat the women he dated.
Wow.
And so I knew I didn't want that for myself.
Yeah.
It allowed me to set certain restrictions, certain standards because of how abusive he was to women. I mean, to a point where they would go to the hospital. This is real abuse. So I think, though, watching that as a little kid growing up, if a man even raised his hand to you, it's not like,
You know, champion.
wow, that would not happen. Yeah, you just stay away from that person, right? So it does impact your thoughts because that sends off all the red flags. There's so many red flags in relationships that I ignored. I dated guys in the past, and obviously I'm not with them, but there were red flags there before, like people going to get married, and you're having those thoughts at the end, oh, do I really want to marry this person? Those are red flags.
Yeah.
And I just, right now, when I was younger, marriage thing, now I just want to be happy.
You thought about starting over. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, people come into your life and it's like, just disrupt everything about your life.
Yeah.
Who your friends are. I mean, to
Yes.
me, just like, when Trisha and I started, I had to bring her around my friends.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course.
I need to see how she fits into that
Of
puzzle
course.
because,
Of course.
my friends are not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And didn't she fit
And
in
didn't
perfectly?
didn't you have to go around her
No, listen
friends?
to me. Her friends were just like, every time I met them, I felt like it was an interview.
Wow. Good job, Trisha's friends. You needed to be
I check a couple of
interviewed.
them and say, oh, yacht, wow, yacht.
Right.
Stamina yacht.
Right.
Those
Right.
are some good friends. Yeah.
Yeah, but they want
Because you had to fit into that life as well, because her friends, just like your friends, weren't going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I don't really restrict her in terms of where she wants to go.
Yeah.
Go, leave me alone,
Right.
But like even when we got married on a cruise, and like my Charmaine, her husband is in hospital, and going through some health issues right now. But Charmaine, every day she said, "Oh yeah, he had to go on the ship because he was about to run off."
So she made sure you couldn't, unless you were going to jump overboard. You
Yeah, I had to do it.
were. Yeah.
So,
Oh wow.
Right.
Because I said I'm not getting married because I was married before.
I was just
And,
gonna ask
yeah.
you that. Were you married before?
Yeah, and I got divorced, and I was just like, never again, man.
You said never again?
Never again. I don't care. No,
Wow.
no, I ain't doing it. Never. you know, friends with benefits, and then
Right.
you know,
Right. Relationship,
yeah,
but not marriage.
but it was something I had to really think about.
yeah.
So go to some of our viewer comments. So Rosie said, someone told me recently, if I was married, I should marry him. I would not be able to go out as often as I do. Now getting to know that's a real red flag out there. So thankfully he told you that, Rosie, so you could make the choice and say that, because a lot of times
But that
we
is
don't
good.
read that.
That
Yes.
is good
Yeah,
because,
it's a good thing
you
you
know,
put it
I
out
mean,
there.
my
That's
thing is,
huge.
whatever your problems are,
Yeah.
you know, put them out there. You know, a friend of
Yes.
mine who's a doctor
Yes.
said to me one time, she said, Melvin, you know, one of every 5 persons you come in contact with either is on medication or needs medication, right? So I'm like, wow. So every time I go somewhere, I look around, I say, somebody needs medication around here. And I know I don't have any. I might
Right.
need it. I don't know. But,
Right.
you know,
Right.
so those are things that if you're going into a relationship and you know you have an issue,
Yeah.
you know there's certain lifestyles that you can't give up. If you're a smoker, you know the person you're dating doesn't like a smoker,
Right.
Yeah.
and you know you're not gonna give it up. Let them know upfront.
Yeah.
At least give them that option that okay,
Yeah,
fine, you know, can I deal with
absolutely.
this? So whatever our situations are, at least put it out there 1st. If you're into health and fitness, and you know you meet this guy and he's not into it, it's not gonna work.
Right.
Yeah,
So we
and-
can be friends.
Yes.
You know,
but
and that is why you have so many relationships failing, because people are in it for the wrong reasons.
yes.
But you bring up a good point too, because I am not for smoking at all. Never have been. I hate the smell and the health consequences as well. So I wouldn't date. I'll tell someone up front that smoking isn't for me. A lot of people will still go into that relationship knowing that the person smokes, they're not a smoker, and they're hoping that they're going to change that about the person. That person has to want to change themselves,
Absolutely.
and that goes with everything. So David Muir says, I am short with a big belly, but never have any issues finding someone who loves me just this way. That's great,
Wow,
David.
David.
That's great.
Wow. Because you're
But David-
probably a great person.
No, but David has a great
David has
personality.
it right.
Exactly.
So it boils down to compromise, right?
Exactly. I mean, you look at,
you're gonna erase those things because who you have in front of you is such a great person,
right.
that you're gonna totally.
It's just like I have clients who tell me, well, Melvin, you know, the first thing I check is their teeth. I'm like,
Yes, I heard
Yeah,
people say
you know,
teeth
do that.
is huge.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I
I've
understand
heard
that.
people say
You know,
that, yeah.
Me, I like a woman that takes care of herself.
Right.
You know,
Right.
get your nails done, get your
Yes,
hair done.
yes.
I hate one of my pet peeves. I'm telling you, I hate to see the back of a woman's foot cracked up. Oh, the dry and cracky.
Dry.
I have a
Let me
pro-
take a look. Let me take
So-
a look right now.
So you bring up a good point.
Yeah.
Hygiene.
Yes.
Hygiene. So I was telling the ladies this yesterday. It is so difficult to give people feedback. It is. And for them to receive it, no matter how nice you are about
Yeah.
it. So one of the situations I had was, it was a gentleman, of course, and he would sweat under his armpits. So I asked him if he considered wearing undershirts
Correct.
to help with that. But he was a grown man, so I think this is normal. So he got highly, highly, highly offended
Offensive, yeah.
that I asked that question, and didn't speak to me for like 2-3 days. And finally I said to him, it is better to have someone tell you the truth and be
Absolutely.
honest with you, because you were married before, and if your wife didn't tell you this before, I'm gonna look good going out.
Yeah.
Why would I want you not to look good going out with
Absolutely.
me? So people have to be receptive to get that. And it doesn't mean someone can't give me feedback. If you don't like something, tell me.
Yeah.
I may agree or disagree with you.
I
but
might
either
get a
way-
little bit upset. I might be
How do you
offended.
say it?
But you have to be
yeah, you have to
honest
know
with
how
yourself.
to. Yeah.
You see, it starts with
Yeah.
honesty within oneself.
Yes.
You know, you have to be honest and say, okay, you know something?
He's right.
He's right.
Right.
It's just like people with bad breath. You know,
Right.
and I have some female friends, and I'm like, no wonder you're single.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, no, I have a
to
problem
check
with
your
that.
breath.
No, you need to check
But
it.
do you tell them?
Okay. it's one of those situations where we're here hanging out and the person is talking to you, and you say, okay, I got a mint or a gum.
So you
You
might
know what I'm saying?
afraid.
Now, once somebody does that to you, you need to check yourself.
Yes.
That's just it's like some simple little
Very
things
true. No,
that
very
I feel that.
Very true.
You
But
know.
not everybody's gonna check themselves.
Yeah, but you can't be that dumb.
Some people
So
are.
moving
Some
on.
people are aloof.
Some
Some people are totally aloof.
Okay, all right.
So Joan says,
I know some people gonna call me tomorrow.
I know because Mel gave them a gum or a mint, so
Right,
he's gonna
right.
get some
David,
calls.
I've Richard.
So Joan says, how and when do you know that this is the person? Should you do an interview on each other? What are some of the questions singles need to ask each other?
Good question. You go.
Why me?
I could go. I
Yeah,
could go.
yeah. When you go first.
I think you need to be direct, Joan. I think you just need to be direct. There are certain things that you will not compromise. And you need to let that person know that those are the things that you will not compromise. Whatever it is, like you said, smoking maybe. Or the crackling of the back of your heel, whatever it is.
What
as
about
a
Sunday
stupid-
morning breakfast?
Huh?
What about Sunday morning?
You could say that.
What
Listen,
about it?
babe,
Like,
if
you're
it's one
required?
thing I need to have, it's Sunday morning
But
breakfast.
that's an
I don't
easy
care what it
thing.
is.
Yeah. But if
That's
she
what
go-
I need.
If she went out last night, she ain't getting a bird.
Well, I
I
knew.
understand.
Well said. Well said. I knew.
Audrey, sorry, well, thank God you're married, so we don't have to put it out there that you want breakfast. Because apparently you're getting breakfast because you're happy.
I feel you with the Sunday morning. Listen, I feel you with the Sunday morning breakfast. I totally
There's
feel
also, what is it, Uber Eats? You can have it delivered now.
you. Not the
Not
same.
the same.
So
Not the same.
Audrey says, that's right, David Muir. Can you imagine if I walked away from my big belly We love your husband and we love you, Audrey. And you guys are just rocking happy couples. So
Yes.
thank you for that.
Hi, Audrey.
Listen, Audrey, very good because my husband always tell me that if I get too fat, he is leaving
See,
me.
so that's
He
honest.
tells me that he will leave me because he did not meet me fat.
Oh yeah, and
He
that's
said,
another
I fell
show,
in
too.
love with you at that size. So this is me. Now I gained 5 pounds. I worried sick because I'm thinking my husband might leave my backside and then what?
Okay, so that's going to be another topic on the Caribbean Edge. Would you leave your partner if they gained weight or
Right,
changed?
right.
That's a good topic,
That's a-
right?
yeah.
Okay, so we're going to have that
I'm
topic
shaking
soon.
in my boots right now. I'm shaking.
So David says he has a big belly but a healthy sexual appetite. And then Audrey said, so does he. So we're learning a lot about our friends on here.
You know what they said?
Thank you so
They say a
much,
man with a
guys,
big belly
for
is the
sharing.
gas tank for a sex machine.
I like that
Oh
one.
boy.
I like that one.
David, they say you need to have guts to live in this country, man. I'm telling you.
Yes. You
That's
do.
why I tried to get some, you know.
So Darren Spalding, thanks for joining, Darren.
Hi,
He
Darren.
says it also depends on what the single woman is mentally. She just leave the money man. He treated her like crap. So the broke pocket man who treat her well can get the chance. Okay.
No, if you broke back in these days, man, you get another chance. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
Forget it, just
does,
forget
doesn't
it.
work.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
you know, because I mean, most, like I said, I mean, I thought at least, because these are questions I ask my clients.
Yeah.
You know, why are you single? You know, I mean,
Right.
there- some of them are there. I mean, you know, great jobs, you know, great personalities, but sometimes they set the bar too high.
Yeah.
You know, Melvin, you know, he has to be
Standards
over
are too
6 feet
high,
tall.
yeah.
You know, he has to do this. He has
Not
to have
willing
a
to
great job.
compromise,
Right. So
yeah.
when you do that, I'm saying, okay, you know, for someone to fit that criteria, is that person looking for you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You know, and then, you know, and especially my ethnic clients, you know, they're saying, well, you know, I saw this brother and he went with a white girl or a Spanish girl. Or, I mean,
Right, right.
you know, like I said, I'm not going to go over, I'm not going to cross the fence. Not
Yeah.
that anything is wrong with
Right,
it, but
but-
culturally we are different.
Yeah.
So when I can tell my wife, I say, oh man, go sit down, man, leave me alone.
She
I
could
can't do that
understand
too, right? If she understand, and she understand that.
She's not
you know,
taking offense
yeah,
to
'cause
that.
yeah. I'm 6'2", 250.
Right.
And my voice carries a little bit sometimes. And if I do that to a white girl,
she might
she starts shaking and next she calling 911. I'm going to jail.
My husband is being abusive.
Yeah,
Probably
He's being abusive.
Culturally. No. I'm saying, culturally we're different. Culturally we're different. So it's not that.
Culture is huge.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, I just stick with my culture.
Yeah.
Because it eliminates one problem.
Like I know of one person that a friend, she said to a friend, I can't date this guy anymore because we're different cultures. He don't know how to use vinegar to wash the chicken. So it's really an island that bothered her so much. And his culture is different.
Yeah.
She never know what people say. So Leslie Ann, thanks for joining, says a divorce, a medical problem can cause someone to lose everything. There's way more than material. Peace of mind is everything to me. And I so agree with that.
Absolutely.
Peace of mind is huge. I think as we get older, we get set in our ways. We know what we like. We know what we dislike. And I think it becomes harder to compromise. I think it becomes way difficult to compromise.
So here's some advice from Audria for the single woman. She says, my advice to single woman, date yourself first. Know who you are and love yourself. Be happy single. Then when someone comes into your life, if they disappoint you, you'll be able to move on. Yes, you'll be a little hurt because we're women, are very emotional, but at the end of the day, you can continue with your life single and happy. So I think we do have to start wrapping up soon as well. Pat says a big failure for a lot of marriages is the wrong reasons. Be with someone who ignites you and fall in love every day. I so love that. Fall in love every day.
And someone that make you laugh. I can't,
Okay, and then Rosie brings up the hygiene, the care process. It's so important that, even if you meet someone and you're not a certain way with your hygiene, if you see this person carrying themselves well, then hopefully that rubs off on you. I know I had a single friend, she met someone online, and one of the habits the guy had was he would sit on her bed when he came over, and he had on his clothes that he had on all day at work. And it bugged her so much, she went and got a bench for the bottom of the bed just to hint, because she couldn't have that conversation. Right. Don't sit on my bed, there's something wrong. So we have personal habits.
So let me ask you a question.
Yes, we do. We have
in a case
habits.
like that, can't you have a civil discussion about it?
Yeah, that's what she just said.
Yeah.
She just said, because I agree. You and I are thinking alike. Why can't you guys just talk it out?
Yeah.
Right? But there are some people who can't. There are some people who have that problem with communication, and they feel like if they might be being offensive to that other person, might hurt that person's feelings. Okay. Imagine she went and buy a freaking bench.
Yeah.
As opposed to saying to him, honey,
and he ignored the bench and
it's not even
sat on the bed, so she had to have the conversation.
She had to. You have to. Communication is so.
Because I can see the bench there, I still can see
it.
That's what he did. That's what he did.
You have to communicate it. You have to.
Final thoughts, and I'll start with you, Cheryl Ann, on why are we single? Well, not you personally.
Right. No. I have single friends that I'm tight with, like close friends. And I think that they are single because they know what they want, because they refuse to settle, because they've gotten to this stage in their lives, because they're older, they're not young chickens anymore, where they've learned and grown and know what they refuse to put up with.
Yeah.
What they refuse to put up with. And there are a lot of men out there who are not looking for commitment.
Yeah.
A lot. So these single women refuse to be that friend with benefits. They refuse to be that person. They want the whole, not necessarily marriage, but they want a commitment.
Yeah.
And that's hard to find. That's hard to find. I worry about my daughter.
Yeah.
I worry
younger
about her
generation.
because I know it's hard to find. I know there are men out there who are willing to commit and who's willing to work towards a relationship, but I think the majority of them are just out to just basically have fun.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mel?
I think she summed it up pretty much. I look at the younger generation, and they talk about like a daughter.
Right.
Unlike us when we were younger, I was happy when my cousins came over.
Right.
My friends came over. We all chat. We all find something to do. We all play games together.
Right.
The younger generation, they don't do that anymore.
Right.
Everyone's on their phone.
Yeah.
And so there's no communication skills
Yeah.
being built. There's no interactions with each other.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll find more and more young folks looking to the internet for whatever.
Entertainment. Yeah.
And so that's why most of them are single.
Yes.
And then when you look again, you just, I guess,
So what advice as the male guest on the show would you give to single women after this conversation?
Don't be so close-minded. In a
Great
nutshell,
advice.
don't be
Great
so close-minded.
advice, Mel.
Let's just
Yes. Open
yourself up.
Yes.
Because there's something about the guy that you like, but you just won't give him a chance. Why? Because of whatever you're thinking in the back of your head. So to me, I just open-mindedness is what I would look at.
Yeah.
Okay. So as a single person on the show,
I'm the only single person here tonight.
Tonight is just my night, right? So why am I still single? I have a love for myself that I cannot compromise. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know that there is someone out there for me. I'm in no rush to find them. Yes, hopefully it is soon because you want to build a life and grow, and we're not promised tomorrow. So you do want to meet someone. I'm open to that. But at the same time, it has to be the right person that's going to lift me up, that's not going to want to change me. And me as well, for me to, like you say, remain open to them as well. If the belly little, not too bad, it will work. I don't have the height restrictions. Yes, hopefully they're
Are you trying to say you don't need a six pack? Are you trying to say you don't need a six pack or an eight pack?
What it is too? Women take good care of themselves. If I can send a message to men, and this is in general, because some men are doing their thing and looking good and dressing well, and you know what I mean, carrying themselves well, and the hygiene is
We
there.
have one right here.
But
it's right here.
We need more options. But you're taking. So we need more men that are confident in themselves. I meet so many men that are not confident, because if you're confident in yourself, I think you can accept all the confident, strong women out there, and that's the problem we're having. So I think we all have to keep growing as individuals and paying attention to
and encouraging each other also.
Exactly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you have any thoughts on single people, and you've been single but now you're married, please chime in. We read the comments after. We share the videos so people will see your comments. And tonight was a great episode because we get to talk. So it's about something fun but real at the same time.
Absolutely.
That we need to keep having these conversations.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Caribbean Edge, and we promise you we're going to bring up that conversation. Would you leave your partner if they gained weight or something changed about them?
Their appearance.
Yes, maybe Stu will come on this episode and tell
No,
us
he won't.
why.
Let me just tell you guys right now, he will not. He will not.
Have a great night, guys. Thanks again.
Ciao for now, and take good
Bye,
care,
guys.
everybody. Take good care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thanks for your company.
If you want me to go, you can be cooking the way.